Hello, in this short video, we're going to take a look at how you can get noticed online. Did you know that small businesses account for about 95% of all businesses in Australia? However, more than 60% of these cease operation within the first 3 years of starting. Reasons small businesses aren't successful include inadequate or inflexible planning, poor cash management, ineffective marketing. Some of these can easily be remedied, none more so than ineffective marketing. There's an old adage that says, when business is good, it pays to advertise. When business is bad, you have to advertise. This is still true in the digital world. One of the simplest ways to promote your business online is by targeting customers directly, either with digital display advertising or paying to appear at the top of search results. Whichever you choose, having a digital strategy in place for your website is essential in reaching your customers. There are 2 million businesses actively trading in Australia, but 60% of small businesses don't even have a website. Not having a website or relying on third-party providers such as Facebook to host a page is a disadvantage because it gives control of the customer relationship to someone else. Connect with your customers directly and allow customers to connect directly with you by owning and taking control of your own site. Understanding how your customers engage with your website is important too. For example, because more than 70% of all internet traffic comes from smartphones and tablets, websites need to be a mobile-first experience. Is your website optimized for mobile? Give your site a quick check by asking these questions. Does it load in less than 3 seconds? Does it draw your eye to your key selling points or message? Is the content easy to read? Is it easy to navigate? Is it easy to recognize and activate the call to action? Does it provide a good user experience? Is it a website you would spend time on if it was not your own? Is your domain name relevant and memorable? Unless you could answer yes to all of these, you may have some work ahead. Your web address is your most powerful tool to drive customers to your site, so your web address should be as memorable, easy to type, and relevant as possible. A meaningful web address is an essential part of a smart digital strategy. Typically, the shorter and more memorable the address is, the easier it is for customers to find you online. In the past, businesses have paid huge amounts to get the right web address for their industries. For example, in 2010, Insurance.com was purchased for $35 million, so the owner could capture traffic for that entire industry sector. In another example showing how the right web address can bring great success, a car loans company changed its web address from beep.com.au to carloans.com.au. Within 5 months of making this switch, revenue had increased by $40 million. There was 35% saving in their AdWords spend, and their conversion rate increased by 30%. However, finding the right web address is becoming more challenging. Many meaningful .com web addresses are taken and availability is becoming scarce. In this saturated market, how can you secure the most effective web address for your business? Luckily, there are new, more relevant ways to do this. Although .com may be the preferred choice for some, there are many other alternatives available, and some of them probably make more sense for your business. In addition to .com, you can now get generic names like .club, .top, and .online, geographic names like .nyc, .sydney, .london, and brands like .apple, .google, .bmw. So, how should you be using these new domain names as part of your digital strategy? There are 3 main options. If you have an existing website, you can have a vanity web address. This is when you keep your existing web address, but set up a more relevant and memorable web address and have it redirect to your existing website. A campaign web address is where a particular web address is set up and used as a temporary call to action for a specific campaign. The new web address can launch a separate microsite or point to a particular page on your main website. Or finally, there's a restart option, where you permanently migrate your current site's content to a new web address. Let's take a look at a few examples. The City of Sydney recently set up the web address www.walking.sydney to use as the call to action in their customer-facing marketing. When you type this web address into your browser, you are automatically redirected to the city's existing walking website. The introduction of a .sydney web address creates a more relevant and easy to remember call to action and moves away from something complicated and harder to recall. The new web address also serves as a point of differentiation in marketing, which is useful in a crowded marketplace. The City of Sydney also implemented a campaign web address strategy for the Chinese New Year Festival online campaign. To celebrate the Chinese New Year Festival, they built a page on their website to drive all traffic to this location. However, www.whatson.cityofsydney.nsw.gov.au/major-events/Chinese-new-year-festival is long, difficult to remember, and aesthetically unpleasing in advertising. The solution was simple. They registered www.chinesenewyear.sydney as a campaign web address. This provided a relevant and memorable web address for the campaign, which redirects to the festival content page on the main site. In our final example, O Clinic in Sydney engaged a digital agency to increase their search rankings. They set up a local .sydney web address, www.oclinic.sydney, and transitioned their entire site across to this new web address. Within a short amount of time, they saw amazing results. 15 of their 17 keywords started ranking on page 1. The higher your ads appear in Google's search results, the more clicks you will get and the more users will visit your site. Just by adopting a local domain extension, O Clinic were able to rise to greater levels of success. So, to summarise, the benefits of a .sydney domain name include local domains can improve SEO and save money on SEM, improve offline brand recall, memorable and locally relevant web addresses. You can put the location directly in your URL. Great availability of names. Don't settle for any other name but the one you want. We hope this was helpful. If you'd like to learn more about choosing the right web address for your business, visit www.get.sydney.